All right, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters Europe qualifier for San Jose as we now get into our second to last series of the night. It's going to be on King Stage on Station, our first map between Sacsri and ForGG.
That's right. So we're in the lower bracket now, just 2 games remaining to find out our second player to qualify for the Intel Extreme Masters, joining Vortex of all people throughout this qualifier. And ForGG was knocked down to the lower bracket because he lost versus Sacsri in the winner bracket here. So let's find out which player can actually win. Is it going to be Sacsri? Is it going to be ForGG? Let's jump in and find out, hey?
All right, good stuff. So, spawning up the top left-hand corner in just a little bit on King Stage Station, as we have our... That's the wrong button. That's the right button. There you go. Sick production. It's our red Zerg. It's My Insanity's Sacsri. And down to the bottom right-hand corner, it's our blue Terran. It's Millennium's ForGG. Yay.
Enthusiasm.
Yay.
Oozing out of Kalaris today.
It's getting to that point in the qualifier where my brain just melts, so...
And then Kalaris starts giggling at things that aren't funny.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Like
thanks.
my jokes.
Oh. Give yourself more credit, Sean. You're a funny guy. You're a funny guy.
Not really. That's the funniest part about me, is I know that I'm not funny.
Wait a minute.
So ForGG's typically struggled against Zerg out of all the matchups. He's obviously a god in Terran versus Terran. Pretty good against Terran versus Protoss, but has struggled against Zerg. Whether he's going to be all in or not, or whether it just be getting beaten up in the later stages. Sacsri, on the other hand, though, is a legend in this matchup. I've seen a lot of his replays recently in some of his games in online tournaments, and he's a killer. He's so very good at having a lot of stuff. And it's very simple, really. He just doesn't really miss his lava injects. He's got great creep spray. He's got a lot of units. And whenever a Terran teams to push out against him, he's ready and prepared and stops it and then kind of sometimes just counter crushes you. So Sacsri's a beast. And I'm expecting a lot from him in this series, so hopefully he can live up to it.
It's always scary when you're a Terran and you're going up against someone who can do that kind of counter push. If they get an overwhelming number in the middle of the map and then just push you all the way back to your production lines, that we've seen a lot of, actually. I mean, even Vortex has done things like that in WCS Europe recently. I think more so in like the round of 32 and the round of 16, but we see it happen, and it's a scary thing to go up against. So ForGG certainly has to be careful about that kind of style.
And already in this game, we see Sacsri going hatchery, then spawn in, or hatchery then gas, then spawn in pull. So he's going to have access to a very early Zergling speed here. And then he can build, a couple of lings, a set of lings here to be able to protect himself against Reapers. And if he's able to control his lings well and keep them alive, he's going to be droning for a long time in this game. He also potentially has the option to be aggressive too, if he was to try to go for some form of roach bailing all in against ForGG, who has been known to be kind of greedy in this matchup. As he already is aiming towards a third command center opener of his own.
Lings are already imagined. So should be okay against this. Actually 6 lings to hold this off.
Yeah, 6 lings is pretty standard versus Reaper openings. 4 is you running the risk of losing a drone. And to be honest, you shouldn't be losing any lings when you go for 6. No. So he's already lost 1.
Yeah, a little bit of miss micro, but he's...
2.
It's funny how he's actually dancing there on the ramp, because he was dancing to the point where hoping that the Reaper had to come up the ramp to actually get shots off, and then so close to death.
Yeah, he was greedy. He was trying for a third Zergling kill, and he lost his Reaper.
Well, the next Reaper's on the way, but the Queens are already out, and the Zerglings are here as well, so...
Not a good start, though. Gets the third Zergling kill, but now he gets the information of the scout, seeing Zergling speed already on the way in. To be honest, you would have loved to have kept 2 Reapers alive.
Yeah.
Makes your life a lot easier to have both of those alive for the defense against a type of attack, or to actually further your own attack when you join Hellions into it.
And overall, ForGG behind all of this is playing very greedy. Third command center is already on the way. He's switching up his factory with that reactor so that he can get those Hellions out. But as you said, the push that he would like to do is a little weaker because only 1 Reaper is present.
And he's playing a more traditional open here. He's got a Tech Lab on the barracks just for stim.
It's more lings than I was expecting to come out at this point.
16 lings total is kind of decent to defend. And also, it depends on how you want to do it. 16 lings is like the maximum number of lings to use to defend against any number of Hellions for the rest of the game. But the way that he's playing it is he's kind of moving out so he can swing in as Hellions move out.
He's looking to get a little bit of a surround on some of these Hellions. Sadly, it didn't quite go to
Nice control
full
by
plan.
Sacsri, but
Yeah. Okay, well, a few more flutter forwards, and if he can get the Hellions down, then maybe he could use more. But I mean, these 2 extra Hellions popping should be able to force all this away.
yeah, good defense there by ForGG, and unfortunately for Sacsri, now he has to build another set of Lings, otherwise he's going to lose to Hellions. So that didn't work out very well for him there.
Yeah, he only got 1 Hellion in total, really. I mean, not even a worker was killed off during that.
But he's playing 2 base only, doesn't have a high amount of queens. He's going to play like a 2 base Spire opening.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's not really building any other Lings here as well. So he's actually getting away with full 2 base drone production without any additional Lings on top. He can start building a couple soon.
Yeah, I was about to comment on how many drones he actually had out there during all of that. 44, considering that he actually went off those Lings as well. It was quite speedy, quite speedy.
Yep, and now he starts his Ling production. So unfortunately, ForGG a little bit scared after those Lings there and the counter-attack options and so on. So he actually waits until he has a full wall before he does anything else with his Hellions here. He can start to move out now because he's actually safe, but playing a little bit cautious here. Barracks before Engineering Bays as well.
And double evolution chamber as well as that Spire now going down right in front of the wall overall. So it's going to be up to the Lings to just poke away and force this in the middle.
No, they won't get up that far. They'd be very surprised if they scout that far.
Yeah, especially, well, with the creep spread and the
creep
queens.
spread's good. 3 queens,
Yeah.
16 Lings.
It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult.
So he might get surprised. This will throw his natural turret timing off a little bit here. To be honest, Terran players in recent times have stopped building turrets come the 10-minute mark, which is the normal timing they used to do, because Zerg players don't really go for a Spire anymore. They prefer early Banelings to make sure they don't die to the standard push-out, so they delay it until later when the Mutalists become active, because they're only used defensively in the start of most games. So that may throw the turret timing completely off for this game.
Yeah, and he's having to be a little bit apprehensive about pushing through to this 3rd base because...
Oh, that's a good scout, though, even though if he loses every Hellion.
Yeah, spots the base, and then in the end, well, loses everything. So.
Yeah, I mean, he spots the base, but super important, very low drone count, and also no gases.
True, true.
So he's like, what the hell? Wait, whoa, whoa! There's a Spire almost done. So that's the kind of, thought process that ForGG just went through. So now his turret timing can get back on track again.
Yeah, should be fine, should be fine. He knows how much time he has before those Mutalists pop.
Yeah.
So he's going to throw down those missile turrets now.
Well sacrificed Hellions.
Yeah. Nicely done overall. Nicely done. Sacsri also, though, I mean, he has really good map vision. It's going to be very, very difficult for anything to actually get across the map without being spotted early on. Be it drops, be it anything. These 2 on the way through the middle. Actually, it's weird because the middle is probably the best place to go, considering the vision everywhere else.
And he may be able to plant these down as the Mutalists on the other side. Actually, he's going to go for the queens. That's okay, though. That's a good pick-off. Creep spread, obviously, super important to get rid of, but get rid of the source of the creep spread, which is obviously the queens.
Yeah, it's not too bad, especially since now there's only 3 queens across the other locations. There was only 5 queens in total, 2 of them, which have just been picked off, were the ones that were spreading the creep. So needs to replenish.
Good, very strong setup that ForGG has back at home, by the way. All the barracks there, you'd be wanting to add on a couple more soon, but he's got his 2nd factory coming in for Widow Mines and Drilling Claws and Thors.
Mutalists have found this drop, though, so cleaning up quite a bit of it. Even Banelings coming along to force the issue. So almost gets a medevac, but boost is quite useful. Coming along with his reinforcements, making sure that this can't continue anymore, because you do not want to be losing those medevacs at this point. Very expensive to replenish.
Worrisome thing, though. 4th hatchery's done for Zerg. Should be wanting to drone over to that very shortly.
And this goes back to what you were saying about Sacsri. I mean, his macro is just phenomenal, and he will have a lot of stuff very, very soon, because that 4th base is on the way, because he's rocketing up to 70 drones.
Yeah, very nervous moment here for ForGG looking at this creep. It's crazy already to think that he's starting to spread creep coming onto ForGG's side of the map, and it's a long way away from that 4th base that he's got to get to eventually. And that is kind of the goal as a Terran to kind of waypoint to that 4th.
All right, so 2-2 on the way here for Sacsri as well. He's a little bit supply blocked, so needs to get out of that. That's given ForGG a small chance to actually catch up, but that lava should be banking up, and Sacsri will alleviate himself of...
Oh, this is bad for ForGG.
Pick up and get out of there somehow.
If he does that, then the Mutalists are going to chase him down.
Got a boost, got a boost. All right, so gets out for just a little bit. Can fall back to the natural. That was close.
Yeah, could have been a lot worse, that. Definitely could have been worse.
Yeah, he got some creep in the middle, but was it fully worth a few units that he lost there? I mean, it wasn't too bad.
If you look at the queens he killed earlier, they're not replenishing creep that's been killed. The creep that was just cleared up there, and then the creep originally where the 2 queens were killed too, is not been replaced either. So, seeing the benefits of killing those 2 queens now. Yeah,
it's working out all right, but the Mutalisks are still looking to threaten on alternate angles, trying to find this refinery again that as always gets poked away by Mutalisks. And doesn't even get that refinery, plus a few SCV kills.
Oh, we can't get drilling claws here.
Why is it? Oh, there we go.
And he got drilling claws. Nice pickup.
Oh, yeah.
So, no fast borrowed Widowmines.
That's all right. And so, how many Widowmines do we actually have out now? 6. It's got a little bit of power behind it, but he's picking up and looking to go for drops again. As I said before, this vision on the left-hand side, it's not going to get broken. So he would have to have alternate units there to really kind of shut that down. And Sacsri is going to be well defended for a long time. Drilling claws would have been really useful.
Oh, God, that bailing hit was so good on that left side of the Marines.
You know, just keep pushing on forwards. These Marines are very, very weak. These 2 Widow Mines, one doesn't do anything. The other one's completely out of location.
Oh, 8 Marines in a medevac. Shot out the sky.
And this is how you play as Zerg. You get this far and you keep pushing forwards. You find the weak spots. You find the vulnerabilities. And wow, that was a lot of SCVs going down. Even the command center from Banelings.
And that is game. You just can't lose your 3rd command center like this. At this level of play, when a move like that happens, you are busted.
Yeah.
You are going to jail.
And he even knows about this drop as well. It's going to get shut down. It's going to get thrown back. Yeah. And ForGG, it's been crippled.
Sacsri's no weak European to pick on here. ForGG's the real deal. He's very, very good, especially in this matchup.
Oh, even pulling back the weakened Mutalisks there for just a second, making sure that we weren't going to get targeted down. But so Banelings catch some Widow Mines at the front as well. Everything is going wrong here for ForGG, as once those Widow Mines fall, then this push gets completely stunted.
Yeah, it's really funny, actually, because Sacsri's taking his 4th base to the top right, which a lot of Zerg players don't do anymore because they're like, oh, it's actually really difficult to hold on against the pushes down that avenue on the right-hand side. But when you've got creep in the middle of the map, it just doesn't matter because the Terran doesn't even get close to that. And when the creep is this big, you are never going to win a fight on it.
Yeah.
You've got to stop it early.
ForGG somehow managed to buy huge amounts of time for his 3-3 to finish up. But Burrowed Banelings are in the mix now as well. The force for Sacsri is going to gather so much strength and just crush across this army.
I mean, there's nothing special that stands out for Sacsri. It's just very, very mechanically good.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of units.
Such power.
He builds a lot of stuff.
I'm okay with that. As a Zerg player, that you can do that and you can win, because right now, look how much is threatening this natural. He has to push this away. We'll get it forced off eventually, but he's still not been mining for his 3rd base for a long time. Look at where this command center is mining from. I mean, all right, let's get back in real mode for GG.
Yeah, this is a great start here for Sacsri's campaign to try and take that 2nd place after losing versus Vortex earlier on to the surprise of many.
Big Widow Mine shot, but even that isn't going to deter Sacsri from continue poking. And we'll get those rocks eventually, making it easier to threaten from these angles.
No 4th base. Zerg taking a 5th. Ultras carving 3-3 Adrenal Glands all on the way, while having a mass amount of Banelings in the middle of the map with decent creep spread. Very difficult here for ForGG to break. He can have 1 push out shortly, but against that high Bailing, it's going to be very difficult to make the breakout work. And with the lack of money that he's had because of that lack of 3rd, he's in trouble to ever rebuild an army this size. Yeah,
he has a lot of Marines, but once these are gone, what is he going to do? The Banelings come crashing through. A little bit staggered in their pursuit, though, but they caught some Marauders at the front, so not exactly the most efficient of trades, and ForGG from then on takes the supply advantage, but Sacsri has so much to replenish from.
Yeah, that was actually a stupid fight for Sacsri to take. Really bad fight.
But Burrowed Banelings will equalize things up. Oh, geez, that was a lot of losses. He catches one there and starts to drop scans after realizing
Sacsri's playing with this guy now. He's playing with his food.
And he can.
He's got Burrowed Banelings all over the place now.
Trying to drop scans everywhere he moves, because if you do not, you will die. Lings flood in, trying to push down that Thor and get onto the top of those squishy Marines with the Banelings. And actually, you know, the most amazing of exchanges here by Sacsri, but because he has overwhelming superior numbers, he can fall back and hold on and keep going.
Yeah, there's a 3-3 fight there for ForGG, which is good.
Poor one Baneling tries to burrow, and there's unfortunate... Oh, but these two Banelings at the back. Gotta be careful if he forces the retreat out that way. Oh, okay, so they're not gonna pin themselves up against this wall, as he does realize that those Banelings are there, but Banelings are coming in from both sides anyway, gonna crush a lot of that army anyway, and doesn't even need those burrow Banelings. He has too much, way too much.
Dominant game from Sacsri. Dominant.
Yeah, it's been very difficult for ForGG to really move at all.
You can't. ForGG hasn't been to the other side of the map. He's scanning over there, checking his opponent's expansions, and says, "I absolutely got destroyed."
Not the best start for ForGG in the end. Sacsri showing why he can be such a dominant force in this matchup.
Yeah.
And ForGG needs to do something. He needs to change it up or try and find some damage to do earlier on.
So this what happened now and what potentially could happen is ForGG's Terran versus Zerg for his entire career. Plays a normal game, says, I need to change it up. I can't beat him like this. Then does some weird, in the olden days, ForGG, some weird combat shield timing or some weird 1-2 base push out, which gets spotted instantly by an overlord. The Zerg says, all right, ForGG, and then just crushes it.
Yeah.
That's been ForGG's Terran versus Zerg forever. This has been like his weak point for a long, long time. I hope he doesn't fall into that. You know, Nimbus is a great map, this next one that we're going on to for Terran players. He can go command center first here, he can play really greedy, and maybe hope that Sacsri doesn't try like a Roach Baneling goal. And even if he does, it's up that ramp, it's a lot easier to defend. This is a good comeback map for ForGG for sure. Really sets up map number 3 nicely if he can capitalize on this map.
Okay. Sacsri, though, the funny thing is about the game he played just before, it's not like it was a super greedy, like, I'm going to go for my third really fast. He just built a lot of drones across those 2 bases, and when he was ready and willing, just transitioned on after having an earlier Spire. So it's not as if he was really playing a super greedy play, not with the third base, but overall, it lines up so brilliantly for him to just have free reign on his side of the map, whatever he wants to do, because he has so much vision, because he has so much creep spread. It's really good.
I feel like you've got to try to drop this guy somewhere and pull his attention one way and drop the other. If you try to play head-on with this guy, it's very powerful, so very difficult to deal with.
Well, then let's get into game number 2 now. Sacsri currently leads 1-0. Nimbus is our second map, as we have, spawning to the bottom right-hand corner. It's our red Zerg, representing my insanity. It's Sacsri. And up to the top right, we have our blue Terran, representing Team Millennium. It is ForGG.
So this position's already pretty good for Sacsri in the way that he's going to spot out ForGG early. That's the good part of this. If it is going to be command center first, he's going to see it instantly and then can react from that because of this overload. The 4th base, because it's the rotation symmetry is kind of, it's going to be the same here. There, he's going to have a hard time defending his 4th. 3rd can be sometimes difficult, but should be okay. Yeah, but whatever. I mean, this is a good map for ForGG to come back on, as mentioned before. This is definitely doable here. But I wonder what he has to... Does he try to do the same again? Does he try to play extra greedy? Does he try one of these more technical Hellbat openings here that have got a lot of easy victories for Terrans recently?
Did he go up against TLO and do something similar to that in WCS? Was it ForGG? I can't quite recall.
Happy use Hellbats every single game, every single Zerg game.
Yeah, Happy. We see a lot of him.
But, I mean, look at it. Nimbus is a great command center first map. It's going to be command center first, and it's going to be spotted instantly.
Yeah. So,
I mean, news for Sacsri. He's going to have a bit of intel to play with.
What can Sacsri do?
3 hatch. Could try to 2 base all in. He hasn't revealed his overlord.
Ah, nice. So he doesn't know where his opponent spawned either.
Yeah.
It's a little bit annoying here for ForGG. What are you going to do, Sacsri? I mean, judging by how he's able to play out such a strong later on game, 3rd hatchery wouldn't be too bad a choice, and it looks like he's going to do that.
Yep. This is a great scout, great catch. So 3 hatch, he's not going to try and, you know, all in ForGG. He's just going to actually play even better than last time because he's going to have an even stronger economy.
Yeah.
He may even try to take a gas here too and get like... Well, there's a couple ways he can play. He could try to take a gas and then go for Zergling speed with his spawning pool, or he can play gasless and then play a super powered up Roach style off the back of these 3 hatcheries. But Super Greed is the name of the game here for Sacsri.
He may even fool his opponent on which direction he's spawned in if he does well with this overlord. I mean, it's a long shot, but if it revealed itself coming from that direction, that could work out. But for now, ForGG here, just setting himself up with that barracks, and the gas is on the way. So, you know, you've got to anticipate that. Although, yeah, Sacsri has a good economy going behind all of this. ForGG doesn't have too bad an economy himself.
Yeah, he should be going 3 command centers anyway in this game, so it is going to be good. It's just the Zerg's going to be heightened. Like, if you think about how well Sacsri did last game, and he pretty much played a 2-base muter opening and still did super well. This time he's got 3 hatchery, much better economy and production capabilities.
Yeah, it's really powerful. Really, really powerful.
So ForGG can go for a 3rd command center very, very shortly here as the factory nears completion. Or he can add on a starport and then try some more technical, as mentioned, opening, whether he tries to throw down an armory, you know, a Viking, Medivac, anything like that. But right now, it's a gasless style from Sacsri. This is super powerful.
Yeah.
He's going to have a nightmare of a mid-game here. It's going to really scare ForGG when he finds out exactly what he's playing against.
Super greedy, but he can be because of that scout initially. So this is really, really strong here from Sacsri. ForGG, though, setting himself up with a starport, looking to switcheroo over with the tech lab by the looks of things.
Yeah, he's going to play... well, he's going to play a Banshee here by the looks of it. He's actually worried. He doesn't really know what's going on. I mean, if he builds a tank, I'm just going to... He's dead. He's already dead in this game if he builds a tank.
That's true.
If he plays defensive against a guy who's open up like this, he's dead. But there should be a Banshee. It's not going to be with Cloak. Or actually, he's got a second guess on the natural. I didn't see that.
Oh, he did get one.
Yeah, so he's going to play a Banshee opening here. So he could punish the amount of greed from Sacsri. Sacsri has a lot of queens, but he doesn't have detection, so...
Yeah, we'll see how quick he really wants to get along with that.
And this is something that Sacsri doesn't know about yet. Doesn't know about the second gas, doesn't know about the Banshee or the Hellion play. So no Spore, no Lair could kill him. Or hurt him a lot, sorry.
Yeah, there were Marines actually denying that position up to the top, but now that they've gone into the bunker, he could get in there. But aside from that, ForGG has no information whatsoever. It's going to be up to the Banshee, which is rallied over to the left-hand side because he saw the Overlord initially coming from that direction. And even his Hellions are going over there as well.
I think he does believe his opponent's down there.
Cheeky, cheeky Sacsri.
So Overlord sees the Cloak, so Lair has begun, and Spore Crawler should be added. 3rd command center right behind this. Now ForGG's like, wait, what?
Aww.
Okay. And he's going to have to go to another location. Spore's been added on, but the economy is out of this world. It's 58 drones in a second.
That's crazy.
58 drones versus 33 SCVs.
Can the Queens hold on against this at the front? There should be.
If that Spore completes, yes.
Yeah.
And it should. As the Banshee's not even going there first. It's going to the back where there is a Spore complete.
He saw the Hellions, and then he made even more drones. This guy is... He gives no... he does not care. He just keeps going, man.
Very dangerous game, this. I mean, oh, mech. Seen mech from ForGG.
Oh, wow. Double armory.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, well, Banshee finds a little bit of room to poke for a second. So getting a few drones, but the thing is that with how Sacsri set himself up, he needs to get even more drones than just a few. Because it's 55 against 37. The armory up to the top, though, could cause some issues if the Queen's are in the right spot.
Well, 6 drones is a lot from this Banshee.
Look at all these spines, though, in the 3rd base. So he is anticipating it, but it's not going to be in time.
Well, it's because he hasn't got Zergling speed or anything. He has to build spines here to help these Queens.
Well, there goes one spine. Does he have energy for transfuses? Yeah, he did on one, but the one Queen that had the most energy actually was focused down first. So that was a good choice there by ForGG. But with the spine and the Queens finish up, he should be completely okay. This Banshee killed off an extractor of all things.
Yeah. Still getting a couple more kills. Spire coming in now. So
still 60 drones.
Engineering base, okay, it's on its way. Yeah, not a very good series for ForGG. Got destroyed at game 1 and he's in trouble game 2 already just by the openers here from Sacsri. Very smartly, or luckily scouted, but smartly reacted.
At least these Banshees provide him some high ground vision to kill off an Overlord. That's all right. But
yeah, but the thing is, he's making Banshees and Hellbats, and when the Spire completes, all of this is useless.
Yeah.
And the Spire is almost complete, so
yeah,
he's...
it's not looking pretty.
No.
Well, he's going to try and poke forwards again with these Hellbats, but Spines and Queens going to try and hold on. The 3 Banshees actually providing a lot of good fire onto those Queens, so pushing those away will give him free reign over this location for a little while.
God, these Spines doing so much. Where are the Mutalisks?
Survived for a long time. There's 4 Mutalisks on the way, but that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe smat on a few more.
Great use of static defense here in a very kind of not a very normal position that we see this. So
True,
unorthodox use of static defense here, and it has worked, and the Mutalisk will get out, and he does not lose any economy. He can go and take a 4th base. This defense is already over. The Mutalisk should be out in time to stop this hatchery from dying.
Yeah. Even just 1 Mutalisk alone is going to cause it quite a bit of bother, because the rest are going to come along, and there's only 2 Marines actually to push that away as well, so not the best anti-air. The Zerglings flood on forwards as well to deal with all of this, but Roachbone got added on here by Sacsri, because I guess he realizes that maybe the mech play is on the way. He hasn't really spotted a whole lot, though.
No, he hasn't, but it's a lot of commitment to Hellion Banshees, so he's having a good stab at it that it's going to be mech.
Yeah. Pokes forward, sees the extent of his opponent's army, and takes a big volley to those Mutalisks. Loses a few of them there, but parked over this missile turret that is not done. So gets himself a Banshee at least, even a few SCVs.
6 SCVs there.
That was nice.
And then we're going to see a good old Roach Hydra coming out.
Nice. I love Roach Hydra in this matchup. Don't know why I really appreciate it, but it's nice to see. Again, on a map like this, if you move out as the meching player, you can set up a huge concave because it is so open.
Yeah, which means you'll have to take the high ground area around this 3rd base probably. But Roach Hydra not very good against tanks, but there's no tanks. It's just Thor Hellbat, and Roaches are pretty good against this. And this is a push from ForGG, which is very good against like Ling Banshee. I mean Ling Mutalisk, but it's not Ling Mutalisk. There's already a switch been implemented very early on.
14 Roaches on the way. Needs more. 25 now in production, but they need to get out pretty quick because the Thor's going to knock on the door.
And I think he should have enough to roll over this. And if ForGG loses all this force, probably going to die to a counterattack. So ForGG is moving out, sees the Roach bailing, and now I'd be worried. If he loses this fight, he's in so much trouble.
Especially with the Hellbats actually going down before the Thors were even in range to actually do damage to the Roaches. So he's really cutting those down. And these Thors are just going to melt away. Yeah, they'll take a few Roaches with them, but not enough Roaches.
He's got to be very careful of a counterattack right now because he will lose every single unit here.
Yeah, and those are expensive as well. These Thors, they make up a huge chunk of his army. As each one dies, he loses so much supply.
Yeah, there's 2 tanks left to defend right now. Of course, there should be more out in time, but there's a lot of Hydras coming into play now too. Should Hydras prevent the hatchery from dying? Even a transfuse available on that Queen too.
Yeah, so good job Hydralisks as well as the Spore Crawler. Extra base has been taken to the left-hand side, and he's at 75 workers. So yes, while the economy for ForGG is okay, it's not competing with Sacsri's right now.
Yeah, ForGG has to kind of build a wall around his units here, which is 2 turrets and a command center.
And the infestation pit's gone the way as well here, so...
Yeah, we'll probably see... he can go Hive. He can play Swarmhosts.
I don't think he even needs to really push him with this Roach Hydra being in the numbers that it's in right now, but he's going to go, and he forces the cancellation of the command center, even gets on top of the siege tanks as well. Reinforcements.
Well, yeah, and then instantly builds 10 more Roaches because he knows his opponent's weak.
Yeah.
He didn't need to attack down this way, though. He could have just gone around the back to the 3rd.
Yeah, it wasn't the best of trades in the end.
Attack straight on. Wasn't, like you said, wasn't the best attack. 10 more Roaches, 8 more drones. Now the choice of Hive or Swarmhost is going to be Hive. So he's going to have Vipers with a lot of Roach Hydra.
Get them blinding clouds down. Really make this hard.
So you're either going to need a good amount of units here or Vikings in the mix to help deal with this.
I think ForGG is playing a position here that I don't think he can play. I mean, he's getting so many command centers, building them, but the Roach Hydra numbers are going to scale really high very quickly. He needs more units, I guess. But
yeah, he's got 3-3 on the way. I mean, his units are at 2-2. You got to give him some credit for working this double armory work. And he has gotten around to these...
Ooh, that was juicy.
These drones. Yeah, there's a good amount of drones there.
Yeah. So he is keeping himself alive. I guess you could argue the point of, well, if ForGG doesn't have these command centers, then he doesn't keep himself in it. And the macro game, if he feels that Sacsri is just completely uncontested over the other side of the map. But getting those drone kills was a great start.
He isn't 100% sure what follow-up is. If it's Roach Hydra, Viper, if it's Swarm Hosts. Hasn't really seen the Hive yet, but he's got a 4th up, which is always good. 14 more Hydralists and 3 Vipers.
Does he just break him when he maxes? Is that a thing? Is
what?
Is this arm? Sacsri. I mean, is ForGG going to have enough by the time we see Sacsri?
Well, there's only 3
second?
Vipers, so yeah, he has enough right now because 3 Vipers can't cover all of this mech.
Yeah. You can shut down a few siege tanks at the front, at least, but then depends where the Hellions are, really, because right now they were dealing with some roaches at the back that did get a few kills.
Yeah, need some blue flame. 4GG, it's your favorite upgrade. Why haven't you got it?
Yeah. If you can get on top of the Hellions, that will certainly roast them up pretty quick. Sorry, no, Hellions, Hydralisks. They both start with Hage.
Yeah. Vikings are coming in, which do help versus Vipers, but needs a bit more time here. He's getting closer to having a good army. 155 is decent. A little bit higher would be nice.
And that base down to the bottom left is going to get assaulted in just a second by a big chunk of Hellions. Blue Flame and Blue Flame has now started up, but
and Vipers are almost ready. And they got about 6 blinding clouds altogether.
Sacsri just going to bring the rest of his army down here, clean this up, and then push it away. And he actually, I mean, those Hellions are completely trapped now, so they're going to have to just buy time.
Yeah, they're sacrificing themselves. That's what 4GG needs, 182 supply.
Yeah, true.
Lots of command centers. He's kind of got that army now, and Sacsri should be ready. He's consumed a lot of his Roach Warren to turn into energy for these Vipers. They now have 2 blinding clouds each. And the Vikings, if they snipe and Viper, it's huge.
Yeah, if they could get some Vipers,
but also,
that'd be nice.
4GG's army is very split. This is not good.
Yeah, pushing through here into the 4th base of 4GG. It's a planetary fortress, yes, but can it withstand a lot of the firepower here from the Roaches and Hydras? I think it will eventually burn down. Yeah,
it's a little bit out of position there, 4GG. He's going to feel the pain from that one, losing that command center so easily.
Hellbat's trying to break out of that Roach contain that they had down the bottom left, and he actually killed off a lot of the Hydralists on this left-hand side, but another push coming in here with the blinding clouds on top of those, a lot of those siege tanks. The Hydralists doing quite a bit of damage, but they don't have Roaches to buffer, so eventually these numbers will wane.
3-3 mech, just too much.
But that trade, can Sacsri afford the trade whilst 4GG can't?
Yeah, I mean, with the 4th down, it is a massive factor here for sure. And I mean, the Roach Viper is good, but you need a lot of income to support it all the time. When losing the 5th, that does hurt Sacsri. 4GG still got a lot of Vikings though, so the Viper is a lot less useful this time around if the Vikings are in position.
The Hellions go back up to their favorite spot on this left-hand side, and well, there's a ton of Roach and Hydra out once again. 20 Hydralists, 26 Roaches against only 9 tanks and 1 Thor. This could do a lot of damage if he actually went.
Yeah, it's the Vikings very important to get rid of the Vipers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If he gets rid of that, no blinding clouds, his tank's going to shred everything. But is he out of position again? Are these Roach Hydra coming to the planetary?
He's having a hard time with it, that's for sure.
No, they're not. They're just coming into the middle.
Yep. Catching any Hellions he can here is not too bad. The siege tanks are very split up though, 2 on this high ground. Pretty vulnerable, so has to be careful.
And Hellion run by again, around the right-hand side.
Still looking for opportunities. Sacsri is holding on and weakening his evolution chambers off actually. They are upgrading 3-1. So, but he's going to lose a lot of drones once again. These Hellions are doing well, even if they do die off in the end.
All right, here comes another attack from Sacsri.
Has he waited too long?
Well, he had to get energy on these Vipers. That's the most important.
Yeah.
So, the Vikings, though, let's try to get to the Vipers.
Technically, if he wanted to try and get Vikings, he could pull them along, but he still needs the energy for the blinding cloud. Picks off one of them. Really good start there for 4GG, trying to hold on against the torrent of aggression that we're seeing here from the Roach Hydras. They're taking a lot of damage, but blinding clouds only land on one of the siege tanks. He will lose the planetary fortress once again, an extra blinding cloud at the back there on 3 of those siege tanks, really stopping a lot of the damage from being done, and the Roach Hydra just try power through.
And he does kill off another 4th base here. And now time for the Swarm Host. It's 10 Swarm Hosts. So nice win there by Sacsri to get that, but at the same time he has to get these units out to defend against this counter push.
I was going to say, has ForGG just had enough here? Is he actually just going to try and plow through? Can he plow through against Swarm Host once they pop?
ForGG has pushed Sacsri's hand here. I mean, Sacsri says, okay, cool. I'm going to get Swarm Hosts out. I'm going to plant them. And I'm going to use the Locust while I destroy everything that you have back at home if you move out with all of your units.
Only 4 siege tanks to really hold on against this, and if those roaches just get on top of it, it's going to be very difficult for them to survive. Meanwhile, it's just a full-blown base trade scenario at the moment, but with Swarm Hosts in defense, it's going to be difficult to really break through.
Yeah, can't lose the Swarm Hosts. They're quite important.
Yeah, has to pull those back from the scan. Did see a lot of that, but the roaches also popping are going to help this out quite considerably. And he lost a lot of the roaches and hydras at the back, so ForGG is trying to make this work.
Like, some crazy Mutalisk switch would be awesome right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. He has a little bit of gas, but he's completely supply blocked. The Vikings have gone to town on the Overlords.
Yeah.
He's going to try and come in from both sides with the next Locust Wave, I think. Blinding Clouds, and that could...
Whoa, Vipers came out of nowhere.
Oh, jeez.
ForGG was not expecting that.
Bring down a few of the siege tanks that aren't in the Blinding Cloud, but he wasn't waiting for the next Locust to actually come through here, so actually forcing them to come out on siege, and it doesn't really... He kills off enough. Do you think he's...
Yeah, I think Sacsri's okay with another 10 roaches and 8 hydras. The economy for ForGG is destroyed, and it's not destroyed currently for Sacsri. So in combination with 10 Swarm Hosts, or however many he's got, 8, and a lot more roach hydra, he should be okay.
Hunting this Viper down. He knows how important these Vipers are at this point. Sacsri, though, down to the bottom left-hand corner, still has longevity. He still has mining bases, and the Vikings are going to have to try and go over here and shut something down. Once again, another push forwards, though. The Roach and Hydras don't do much, but with the waning number of units that we see from ForGG and the Swarm Hosts out and about, I can't help but feel that ForGG is eventually just going to get broken down.
Yeah, but he's got a new base up on mining, which is kind of important to be able to keep his unit production good.
That's true, that's true. And he's got a good spread of tanks in the middle, wow.
And currently, Sacsri is the one running out of money now. He's lost the base down to the bottom left. He's going to lose another one and the center base. So actually, Sacsri's not mining at all now. So, and the tank line of ForGG is unbelievable. And there's only 8 Swarm Hosts. It's not an overwhelming amount.
You're right, the tank line is so deep. It's going to be very difficult to really deal with that.
With ForGG mining and Sacsri not, that's now the biggest point in this game.
And he's replenishing with very strong units as well. 3 Thors and a few more Hellbats on the way to complement the already deep line of siege tanks that he has.
The Locusts can't even get to the tanks anymore. There's too many tanks that are actually dying before they get close.
This is difficult.
Unless these Blinding Clouds are amazing, can get most of these tanks, but he doesn't really realize how far the tanks actually go back.
Yeah, unless the Blinding Clouds were 10 times bigger than they were previously. Tries to pull a few of these siege tanks forwards as well. And actually, this is probably the best engagement that Sacsri could have taken with the pulls and the Blinding Clouds. So really actually kills off a lot of that tank line, but he trades so much away whilst ForGG is still mining.
Yeah, and there's a lot more reinforcements coming in for ForGG now after losing all those Roach Hydras, which cannot get replaced with only 3 more Roaches coming in. Here come the reinforcements for ForGG, and he's got to power through these Locusts to get to the Swarm Hosts, and then he's going to get to tie up this series.
Yeah, great little game here, actually, from both sides. Sacsri trying to break through, was unable to do so, and I think, you know, ForGG has almost capitalized on a few of the Sacsri mistakes that we've seen from this, and he's ran away with it. This is looking really cool. Oh, gets so many Overlords behind this as well, so even if he wanted to make any more units, he'd just get plowed down. Can't really make much at all. Lands the Vikings as well to try and push through this Swarm Host line. And burrowing right next to that, I'm not sure that's going to work out too well.
A lot of scans available, and there he is on top of the Swarm Host, and this is going to be game, and ForGG will make the comeback. And as mentioned, Nimbus was the map to do it on.
Yeah. Not
in the way I expected him to do it, but he does allow himself to get to that 3rd map here, where he can ultimately still fight for that position to advance to the Industry Masters main tournament in San Jose.
Yeah. Great game there from ForGG to claw his way back into this. And now it's just one more game to determine who's going to play against first for our San Jose spot. I'm still feeling Sacsri though. I still think he's got it in him.
Well, Sacsri is definitely, out of the 2 games, the stronger opponent out of both of them for sure. So definitely coming into this is a strong advantage to Sacsri. Like, you know, 70-30, I would say, in favor of Sacsri coming into this. ForGG's got an uphill battle if he wants to be able to go up against First, where then he has the much higher chance to go through. Because I think First, you know, is going to have a hard time probably against ForGG, but right now, Sacsri is the man to beat in this lower bracket.
Merry-Go-Round is going to be our last map between these two, as it looks like both players are ready to go. So ForGG still has the potential to push through. Again, I really like, I keep saying it, it's the spearhead that he just goes straight down the middle, doesn't really do a huge amount flashy. On Nimbus, he actually, you know, with his mech play, tried to draw it left and right with the Hellions and got a lot of drone kills, which if he hadn't have done, he probably would have lost the game. So he needs to kind of incorporate this a little bit more, and then he'll be hunky-dory.
Yeah, I think that Sacsri is probably saying to himself is maybe I didn't need to send all my units over to try to, you know, kill off all your economy. Maybe if I just brought a lot of them back and crushed the army, I wouldn't have had to been put in that position anyway. So I'm pretty sure Sacsri's feeling confident to take this one 2-1. And it's all going to come down to what ForGG can do to stop him. All
right, let's get into it then. Merry-Go-Round game number 3 between ForGG and Sacsri. As we have, spawning up to the top right, it's our red Zerg representing My Insanity. It is Sacsri. And up to the top left, it's our blue Terran representing Team Millennium. It's ForGG.
ForGG. So these players have been playing since 2 p.m. today, and it's now 8. So 6 hours of grueling qualification so far. And we are drawing very close to the bubble, which is, of course, the last game before to qualify. Of course, losing here after 6 hours of work means nothing. You've lost 6 hours, maybe a bit of practice, but you're not going to be able to qualify. And, of course, even worse for the next player if they lose while the winner moves on. And ForGG is going to 2-Rex. 3-player map. SV moving out. He's chosen the right map to do it on, I suppose.
Yes, he has. All right, then. All right. Well, if this is how it goes down, this is how it goes down in the end.
Sacsri's played greedy both games. First game was hatchery gas pool. Second game was the 3 hatchery opening, but
look at this legend.
Yeah, this is really unfortunate here. Sacsri's chosen a build which is almost an instant win against ForGG here. Very difficult for ForGG to make work unless he creates a wall of bunkers around the natural ramp, or not the main ramp. Then maybe if he kills the rock plating or whatever, then he can wall off with bunkers. But he's walking into a guy who's gone Zergling speed fast. Which is obviously terrible. He's expecting to hit a hatchery first here, obviously.
It's going to be very, very difficult here for ForGG to do a whole lot. Sacsri really playing to just guesses, anything, assuming that ForGG would try something like this, and he is correct. So, great play by Sacsri. Just great reading of the game and the flow in general. SCV is on the way. Have a look around. He's going to be very disappointed to see no hatchery.
Oh, no Zergling speed straight away. Okay, there it is. But yeah, ForGG's like, God damn it, can I catch a break?
No, you cannot.
He's gone Zergling speed. All right, so how is he going to play this? Remember, Sacsri does not know what ForGG's up to. He did not scout him first.
At least he knows where he's spawned, though, because the Overlord down at the bottom right has spotted that it's not there, so he'll try and walk across and see the barracks and be like, well, okay.
ForGG's got a wall, which he can repair, so Zerglings alone are not going to be good enough. Right, the plan is revealed. He's seen the Marines, the SCVs, and now he's seen the barracks. So there's going to be a lot of Lings on the way, but there's also quite a few Marines already.
And I think he just... Did he spot those Lings just then? I think he did, right? So he raises the depot. It was just on the edge of his vision of his barracks, but here comes the first bunker. But it is complemented by 5 Marines, and that's a lot of power behind that.
Yeah, these bunkers completing is bad for Sacsri. As good as he's got Zergling speed very early on.
Oh, he's going to lose an Overlord. Oh, that hurts. Has to replenish that. And he's supply blocked for so long.
Yeah, he should be building all the Lings right now.
Yeah.
Like, he has lava ready to build all Lings.
He has so much money.
And then that maybe he wouldn't allow this bunker to complete, but... Oh, dear.
Yeah. Speed is a great boon to him here, but against a bunker that's already finished, and then he's just going to run past and try and do something with the reinforcements.
But the reinforcements are all together.
Yeah.
God, it started so well for Sacsri. It's like the perfect opener, but...
How did it spiral so hard? I mean, that Overlord dying certainly really hurts. He can't do anything at the back. This second bunker's probably going to finish if he doesn't do something about it soon. Oh, getting that SCV will be a nice start.
Okay, that is cool. He needs another wave of Lings, though.
Starts working on the spine crawler as it's trundling
there's so many
down.
SCVs coming. This can actually turn around. I think ForGG can break this. There's a spine, but...
He's got so many Marines already. He's got 11 Marines out here. He wants to start dancing against this spine crawler.
18 additional Lings is a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah.
This is pretty tense here because, of course, the loser's eliminated. And a 2 racks versus gas spawner pool opening.
Oh, brings a lot to the front. He's trying to just try and power through all of this. That's a lot of Lings to do the damage, but with the bunkers still holding, the bunker's still up, and the second one finishes, plus the repair.
Try to get rid of a lot of SCVs so he could stop the repair.
Oh, it's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough for Sacsri. ForGG, despite going up against a spawning pool gas opener first, this is great for him.
Yeah, he played this really well, considering like the waiting, the patience, the moving out. Sacsri did not know what he was going up against until way too late. And then that Overlord.
Yeah. Poor Overlord. Really spelled a lot of doom here for Sacsri, who's trying to make it work again. He's trying to get to the SCVs, but...
10 Marines just slaughtering every Zergling there.
Yeah, it's so difficult to really do anything. Yeah, it catches reinforcing Marines, but there's already so many up here to do damage.
Now only 8. It's gone down a couple, and there's 12 more Lings on the way. Transfuse is available. He's got to go very shortly.
Yeah, he has to break. He has to break right now, and he's going to go for it. Will this bunker fall? He gets to the SCVs. The bunkers will die.
So will the 2 queens, though. And he will break it.
Was this enough? Was this enough?
Queens starting up again. Drone production going on, but there's already double command center behind this. Well done there for Sacsri not to completely outright die there. But it is a matter of catching up and building drones.
Yeah, 2 Marines is enough to just hold this ramp.
Yeah.
He can just repair for days and days.
But it's not enough to move down to take his command center, though.
True, true.
He's got to wait for Hellions for that.
So, how does Sacsri now stabilize behind this? I mean, he has 19 workers to 23, but the triple command center is really going to kick in with that production very, very soon. He just has to play super greedy, right? Just drones, drones, drones.
Yep, that's right. Queens and drones.
Second factory's added on here for ForGG as well, so we're going to see a lot of Hellions.
Yeah, we're going to see Blue Flame Hellions to finish this one up. And, well, not even Blue Flame, it's actually just a lot of stuff, a lot of Hellions.
That can work as well, I guess.
I suppose so.
Drops the scan,
sees if he's going to be all in, clicks on the extractor and sees only 100 gas has been mined, so that is only Zergling speed.
Yeah, he's got to be pretty happy with this choice now, considering the second factory is going down. If he just has tons of Hellions off this triple orbital command with the mules even landing on the main base, it still provides a lot of income to fuel double factory play without the natural.
Yeah, this is going to be a surprise too, because on the right-hand side of the base is the tech lab and the barracks, which looks like just the regular stim follow-up.
Yeah.
But and then the Hellions are going to push this back, and then there's going to be hardly any way for Sacsri to know this is coming on, and he's going to need a lot of Lings or Roaches. So this is a very strong push out here from ForGG. You're going to get combat shields to assist his Marines to move out with these Hellions. He's waiting for another 2 Hellions before he actually takes his natural. And Sacsri is in Drone City. Third base down, drones on the way.
Drone City, but he's going to be in a lot of trouble very soon. He sees the Hellions now that poke out, and that's already quite a few Hellions to contest against this. He's still making drones. I don't think he understands the severity of this situation.
Ooh, no, he's got no idea because he hasn't scouted.
There's the Roach Warren on the way.
No idea. The Roach Warren's a good assistant because it could be some random Hellbat, so he's got that down just in case, but...
There's going to be so many Hellions.
Yeah, it's...
Going to be a lot of Hellions. All right. Well, they're already banking up at the front here. That's Overlord. Doesn't see the extra ones moving out. And there's 4 on the way at any given time. They build so fast. He's going to have more Hellions than Zerglings soon.
He can actually build a lot of Roaches in a second.
Yeah, that will aid.
I think he's actually getting ready to build a lot of Roaches.
Well, 2 Overlords on the way, freeing up the supply.
This can turn, you know, one way or the other very fast here. I think he's going to build a lot of Roaches.
Oh, now he sees the Hellions moving out.
Well, now he has to build a lot of Roaches.
Yes, he does. 9 are already on the way. And the Marines actually...
But 9 Roaches is awesome against this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, this can turn, as good as it looks for ForGG, it can turn quite sour quite fast.
Unless he divides these forces. If he kills these off now before the Roaches pop, the Marines should be able to help out quite a lot here.
They
pop right on top of them. And he's actually just going to go for a full kill on these drones, try and kill off as much as he possibly can do. And with all of those dying off, that is a big, big blow there to Sacsri.
God, I don't even know who's actually winning this. Is it ForGG? Is it Sacsri?
I think he holds it off, but behind it is 37 workers to 31.
Yeah, well, obviously Hellion's not very good against roaches, but a good pick off of drones, 3 command centers, Bailey Nest coming down as well. So turn of events now. Double bunkers coming in as ForGG's like, holy wow, you've got roaches,
Run
okay.
away.
Gotta go back. Marauder production's begun, but he's only on 1 barracks. He's got a lot of Hellions. Are Hellions gonna win ForGG a game against Roach Baneling?
It's going to be difficult depending on how much we have here from Sacsri at the front. I mean, he doesn't have that many Zerglings, so the Baneling is going to take a little while. He doesn't even have that much energy, gas to actually morph in a lot of Banelings.
If he morphs in Banelings, the Hellions are going to have a great set of great set of shots on this ramp against the Banelings.
There's so many Hellions.
Yeah.
There's so many Hellions.
Like, he's taking the fight to the Roaches now.
Yeah, he sees this army. He's going to be able to push this away. The Banelings morph in, and he can just kite back.
Yeah. That's not looking good, is it, for Sacsri?
No.
8 more drones. He's got to be careful because ForGG's going to go on the
he's just chasing.
The aggressive run.
The Banelings split up to try and do some damage and it connects. Well, they could have then. One could have, but he kills off this force.
Oh, gosh. What a weird game. What a weird series this has been. Not the traditional Terran versus Zerg, and
yeah,
all these roaches are getting roasted on the way home.
It's so funny because technically he actually droned up a little bit behind it. It's at 45 against 36, but still, he's losing so many units across. I don't think he can do much of this third base. He's going to have to abandon.
Stim is done in 40, 50 seconds time to, you know, join in with these Marauders and Hellions. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think we might have a winner here moving on to the next round to play one more game to play for the ticket to San Jose.
Yeah, he does love his Hellions, and they come out in full force once again, killing off this third base with Hellion power almost alone, aided by those Marauders. And there's not really a whole lot for Sacsri to hold on with. No. He doesn't have that. He's going to have around 20 roaches, but is that really enough?
ForGG winning in his typical fashion with Hellions alone, pretty much.
Yeah.
Does it against Terran, and now is trying it and making it work against Zerg as well.
Does what he does best. That's actually a really good concave with the roaches popping as well. So maybe he'll be able to hold on, but...
Stim is done now, so Marauders go.
Oh,
bang,
they go
bang.
to town. Kaboom, baby. They do what they do best. Follow-up of Starport, everything just going in ForGG's favor, rallying forwards unit after unit. Roaches die off, and then with those dying off, there's really not that many reinforcements left over.
Yeah, double engineering raid down as well for ForGG. A lot of long-term play in this as well. But Sacsri beasted after winning the first series against ForGG earlier on in the winner bracket, 2-0. ForGG, who lost the first series, or the first map, well, and first series, first map of the second series, is able to make a comeback here. Devastating losses to the Zerg. Third hatchery gone, drone line gutted. And then behind this, still 3 command centers, double engineering base, still units being made. There has to be a recovery, which means drones must be made, which means ForGG is going to walk all over this game if he just continues waypointing units over.
It's so funny because ForGG actually hasn't made SCVs for ages and ages and ages, but again, it just doesn't matter. He just puts on a show, he just powers on through, killing off more drones. And as we said before, it's that bracket curse, man. These people, they lose the first series, but they come back to win the second. GG, ForGG advances through. He will have a shot to play against first for that Intel Extreme Masters San Jose spot.
Yeah, congratulations. ForGG is having a wonderful run down here in the lower bracket, going through player after player after player. And Sacsri, who for a lot of people, I think is definitely was the favorite to advance in one of the 2 positions available today. But Vortex were the first one, and then of course the second one. Still up for grabs here between first and ForGG.
Yeah, it's such a shame for Sacsri because aside from the dream hack that he won, sometimes he just gets knocked out of these tournaments really early. I mean, prime example is WCS Europe when he tried to qualify and got knocked out in Challenger League by Bunny.
Right.
And now he's here, unfortunately, on the losing end of ForGG, so Sacsri can't catch a break.
No, you cannot, unfortunately. So this is going to be a cool next series, though, that we got coming up. ForGG versus First, a good old classic Terran versus Protoss. Between 2 players fighting for just 1 spot in a best of 3.
All right, so join us after the break, guys, when we have our final series of the night. One of them is advancing on. It's either First or ForGG.